girls. She's done an amazing job raising them. I feel the same about Aiden and Dylan. So I always give Phaedra props for that. That fashion show where she's encouraged Aiden to design, to sew. The pants look good. I love those big pockets on the front. That was really creative. So I love that. But this extra is about the diabolical stuff that Phaedra does. Let me put comments up. Let me put a banner up too. This is the Copyright Act of 1976. Now, by now, I'm sure everybody has heard the Angela interview with Carlos. She said she knows who paid the guy, and there's speculation. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're getting ready to do this shit drill. I don't know how long that's going to last. Let me see if I can pause this. I may not be able to pause a live. A live. I think it's going to be pretty short. Let me just put in here. Anyway, I'm speaking of Phaedra because Phaedra is the one that is supposed to have paid that guy Marcus to come there and confront Angela or give her information about Charles. All stuff that can be easily disproven. The guy said he owned a restaurant. Anybody that's in or around Atlanta and knows anything about it, what restaurant is this? What kind of restaurant owner would try to out his patrons for being there with other women or something like that? I find it disgraceful. I know people get a kick out of Charles and how nonchalant he is with Angela. Sometimes I do. I don't like when it borders into cruelty. For me, the main part of it is I think Charles doesn't really want to be on camera unless he's doing something he wants to do. I did watch the episode. I did like the Charles versus Kelly thing. Kelly being Queen of Waffles and then tying Charles cooking waffles. To me, that was really funny because one of the little kid, her little girls had already alluded, "Mommy don't really cook like that." The one that wants to be a chef, one of the twins, said that, "Mommy don't really cook like that." So I found that really funny. Charles, we know, cooks, loves to cook. So he was there, he was engaged, he was happy. And that guy Marcus, when he tried to pull Angela aside initially, and she declined, and then here he comes again. And then he made that little tired toast to Kelly. If your name is Angela and your husband's cheating, that was just ridiculous. It was silly. And if Phaedra did orchestrate that, that's disgraceful. And a lot of times I'm on Phaedra's side because Phaedra's good TV to me. She's funny. NBC Universal likes her. They've had her doing a lot of different things with them. Dancing with the Stars, Traders, over there on Married to Medicine. I supported her over there. I thought the ladies, the doctors in particular, were some mean girls to Phaedra. So for Phaedra to come back here, and she knows she should keep her nose clean because of the way she left. Her to come back to Real Housewives of Atlanta and orchestrate something like this, if indeed that is what happened, it's just a rumor right now. It's speculation. I don't know if she did or not, but I find that pretty disgraceful. Good morning, Dot Willie. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Hello. Dot Willie came in speaking. I was just doing a quick extra on Phaedra Parks because supposedly, allegedly, she is the one who had Marcus, the one who approached Angela, paid him to do that and accused Charles Oakley of something. Now, there are people that are saying something might be going on with Charles Oakley and whomever. Keep hearing different names, but I don't really care about that. That's their marriage. That's between the two of them. I feel like Marcus has nothing to do with it. That was embarrassing. He should be embarrassed. And then I think that Charles is actually, he didn't hear it. He didn't hear anything that was going on. I think he was in his element with the cooking and the competition and all that. So kudos to Kelly for that. Also, kudos to Kelly for having that food escorted out. I'm not going to talk about Kelly and Britt yet. That whole situation is so distasteful because they both went low, but Britt, to me, talking under somebody's medical records and saying the things that Britt said, that's just disgusting. It just proves what I said from her first episode. Britt does not know how to read. Speaking about what she spoke about, she doesn't know how to read, and that was awful. Kelly, as a married woman, whatever she did with her own medical business throughout her marriage, that's her business. She had three children with that man. She already had a daughter. She has four girls. She's not obligated to have any more children for anyone. I think Britt might have been trying to insinuate something else, but that was really horrible. And I'm glad we're not going to see any more Britt Edie, at least on this show. Maybe she could go down to Zeus or somewhere else where she's more suited. I don't think she was ever qualified to hold a peach. I think lowering of the peaches began when they no longer had to try out. They just show up and they're given a peach. The fact that we have four new peaches this year, even Shamia, we've seen some Shamia over 10 years. I've been a defender of Shamia. She's not really panning out either, though she's not as low as somebody like a Britt Edie. I like to see a shake up if they're going to come back. Phaedra mentioned season 17, but I don't know. I don't even want her back because of how she left and then coming back and then possibly being involved and doing the same thing again. It's kind of it's a little terrible. So I'm not disappointed in Phaedra because I know she does have that in her where she could be dirty. So I don't know if she did that or not. If she did, it's disgraceful. And I am disappointed in her. I'll see if there's any comments. Anyone that came in, Linnell Seiler, thank you so much. You were here earlier because I did have an earlier one scheduled and I think it was open, but then I got on here. I rescheduled to 10:15. So Dot Willie, thank you so much for coming in. Anyone else that came in, you're in the bushes. I appreciate it. I think these people are going to continue this drill, y'all.
All crews,
So this is
proceed
just
to your assigned
let me
survival
let
trap
see if they're
muster
going.
stations. Muster teams and
What?
containment teams, continue with your emergency duties.
All right, they're just doing the, you know how when you dock, they do more of the emergency drills. That's what's going on here. So other than that, we're just gonna have a quiet day in Freeport. Tonight's the last formal night of our 7 days, so I'm looking forward to that. Lots of tales. But I did get to finish Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was a pretty good episode, other than the end when it devolved into that fight. And the two of them, I could tell that Kelly and Britt were never friends because to dig down and pull out some of the things that Britt pulled out was disgraceful. Now Kelly made an accusation as well. I thought she was speaking about, she said pill popping roommate. Y'all, why did I think she was talking about poor Mike? Mike hasn't really done anything to anybody, so that was not fair. But now I'm thinking, well, it could have been that she's talking about Britt. Britt is erratic, absolutely, but I don't know if that's what she's talking about. That was crazy. I am Dot Willie very much. Thank you. I am. I, most of the day, we had a full beach day yesterday. They have the private island, which is Half Moon Cay. So we were there. They tender you to the island because the ship is so large, you can't like park right up against that island. That's one of the ones you catch a tender boat to. So I always have fun doing that as well. I got some good pictures. I was able to post a couple of shorts. So thank you. Yes, I am enjoying very much. Getting a lot of rest. I'm here with a lot of family. I'm at one of my cousins' birthday is today. She wants all of us to have dinner together, and then I met a few cousins that one I had never met, and then two others I feel like I know from when we were younger, but it's been a while. But let me see, 11 minutes or so. Yeah, that was just the extra on Phaedra. I want to give Phaedra her kudos for Mr. President and Aiden. Aiden is always so well spoken. He looks just like Apollo, but he and Phaedra have in common that they never met a crowd that they're afraid of. They can speak in front of crowds. That is a skill that a lot of people don't have. So I'm happy to see what she's encouraging her boys. I love watching the clothing line. But again, if it is true that Phaedra has paid this man Marcus from Athens or wherever they're from to do that, that is disgraceful. Cece's one of my moderators. Thank you so much for coming in. Never consider living on cruise ships most of the year as a retirement choice. I follow a Black CC that has done that. It is tempting. CC, that is something I would consider. And I know who exactly who you're talking about. I think it's Poverty to Paradise. Her name is Linnell. Yeah, I follow
Attention.
her. And I
For
would
all crew
consider that.
members on
But
the
you know
outer
what?
deck,
She said
you may now
sometimes there are
remove your
things
life
that
jackets. Once again,
I
for
don't
all team
know.
members
Let
on
me
the
let
outer
her
decks,
finish.
you
I'm
may now
sorry.
remove your life jackets.
I don't know if she was saying it gets monotonous. I maybe watch that one again, but she was saying some of the downsides of it. But I mean, it looked like a lot of upsides to me. She's been able to have it be pretty economical as far as she gets a lot of offers for free cruises because she cruises so much. She gets like the casino offers and things like that. I don't play in the casino as much, though I do get pretty good offers and deals. Carnival is my cruise line of choice. They're making a lot of changes, so I don't know. I'm gonna try to get loyalty with more of the brands, just so as I branch out to more brands, some of the benefits are more worthwhile, like the laundry. I like the free laundry. But Linnell, she was kind of on a break from cruising, and she was in Thailand for maybe a month. So I had to go through and catch up on those videos because I do love her cruising videos the most. But yeah, I would consider that CC, and I like her cruising a lot. Dot Willie said, so do I, but I couldn't do it. Yeah, Dot Willie. Some people, now the good thing is, like, we had 2 days at sea because we cruised in Baltimore. So we had the 2 days at sea, and then we stopped. Our first port was Nassau. Then we had a beach day. So once we were in the Bahamas, everything was right close together. So we just had overnight, and then we have, let's say, 9 or 8 to 3 or so at an island. So a stop. So, and I never have any problem with seasickness or anything like that. Thankfully, I'm blessed in that way. So, I don't know. It just depends. I could do it now. I would consider doing that partially. That's something I could do. But I don't see a scenario where I would want to sell my house or anything like that. At most, I would consider renting it out. But in this market, I don't know. I mean, the price would be there as far as my area if I wanted to rent it out. But sometimes when you get some of those people in, they don't want to get out, especially when you're under a lease and they're paying a certain amount. They don't like the prices to go up, anything like that. But everything is just going up. So I wouldn't just want to rent and then have somebody fixed in there for a year, have a problem getting them out. I don't know. That is something to consider, though. Yeah, that's who you're talking about. Yeah, she does a good job. I like watching her videos. Like watching her channel grow. My thing about my channel, I do talk about cruising and things like that, but mainly it's recaps and things like that that I talk about as well. So some videos do better than others. I'm still steadily growing. That's my main goal, is just to grow the channel with people that are interested in hearing me, whatever topic I decide to cover. So right now, it is mainly entertainment, it is some of the travel. Politics gets under my skin so much. I do have a lot of knowledge of that because I do read a lot. I watch the news sometimes, but I don't watch it as much as far as CNN or things like that. I like the BBC. Other news, international news is more forthcoming. They tell more of the truth than a lot of the US based news because they try to sugarcoat stuff for us. A lot of stuff going on that they don't really tell us. But anyway, I'm going to cut this short because this was just the Real Housewives extra about Phaedra Parks. Again, I reiterate, I'm disappointed in Phaedra. And honestly, I think she did do that because she's the type person that did spread that lie on Candy and Todd. I think she actually, maybe she did pay Marcus, allegedly, and in my opinion, that's the rumor, paid this man to come up and do that to Angela. But here's the question: does anybody know what Angela did to her? Angela Oakley has not done anything to Phaedra, unless maybe Phaedra's just jealous or she sees Angela getting a lot of attention. I don't know what the problem is with Phaedra. What she have against Angela? Yeah, Dot Willie says she watches BBC too. Yeah, they're upfront with a lot of what they talk about. They just give it to you as it is. This whole Iran Israel thing. You watching the news here, you wouldn't know that Israel actually initiated the conflict. Now you telling people to stop, but you started. So other news sources are saying what it is. Yeah, Israel attacked Iran, and Iran is retaliating. And then we're getting involved, and you have a right to retaliate against anybody involved. So that, I mean, it's simple to me, but other people that doesn't seem as simple. But thank you everybody that stepped in during the live. I appreciate it. I apologize for changing the time. And then Team Replay, thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. I will see you later. I have another quick live that I'm going to do on Real Housewives of Miami. They had a really good episode 3. Julia is attacking our sweet Gertie. I'm not having it. I have to drag Julia. I think Julia is jealous of Gertie. This is Real Housewives of Miami. If you're not watching, it is season 7, but they're only 3 episodes in. It's worth watching. It's pretty good. They always get into some stuff. Miami is always beautiful. They were in Milan last week, a couple of the ladies. So the visuals are pretty, the clothes are, the ladies always keep something going, and it's worth watching. So even if you don't watch this, I'll get you caught up when I do the recap. Thank you again for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra, and I will see you in the YouTube streets. Bye.